signings of Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon. We're putting together obviously a new core. Coach D'Antoni and I have been working hard on how to put together a team to work with his approach. Ryan and Eric are two players that are perfect for what we need to get back to Rockets basketball in our winning ways. So we're very excited to announce them.
We're thrilled with this off season. We didn't have a great year last year. We still made the playoffs, so we didn't have a great year. It didn't end well. And we needed new blood, and we needed shooting. We needed guys who were passionate about the game. I think we got them. These two here are great players, great shooters, passionate about playing the game. With Coach D'Antoni's style and with Jeff's defense, I think we're going to be a very tough team to beat. I mean, we're going to lose, obviously, some nights, but you're going to have to beat us instead of us beating ourselves. We're going to be very tough. At the end of the game, you're going to have to really try hard to beat us. We're really looking forward to this season.
Open for questions.
Mike, how do you fit Eric in your backcourt with James and Beverly? How do you see how that works?
Well, like I told Pat and I've told James, Will, and Eric, we're working. We've got all good guys, and you know what? We want to win. And so we'll all sit down and we'll figure it out. And obviously, when you have guys of this caliber and the guys that are left over, like in Phoenix, my whole thing was I have 7 starters, and they play starter minutes. So who starts, who doesn't, we'll figure all that out as it goes on, but it'll be the best for the Houston Rockets. But I do know that it's important that guys have a role and they have a certain amount of minutes they can count on. They have to earn it, obviously, or not lose it. But we'll figure all that out. When you have great players, it makes it a lot easier.
Mike, clearly the elephant in the room, the same thing we went through with Dwight Howard. These guys have great ability, but the ability to stay healthy. With the dependence that we're going to have on them, how do you manage around that, coach around that?
Well, I coach the way I coach. It's up to them to stay healthy. But, we have great training staff. We have great doctors. I've known Eric forever, and he's only 27 years old. There's no reason why he's not healthy as heck. I've known Ryan forever. They're perfect for our system. And they'll do all their work to stay healthy, because when you have good guys, they'll do everything they can. Now, barring unforeseen circumstances, you never know what happens, but I'll put my money on these two guys.
For both of the players, could y'all discuss what made Houston a place you wanted to be?
For myself, this has been a long time coming for me. I know that I've been in a lot of talks with trade rumors, and Houston's been on my mind for a lot of years. So I feel like it's finally my time to be here, and I couldn't be happier. I'm excited to play with a guy like James, who, in my opinion, is the best player in the NBA, and a guy that's going to get guys like Eric and I wide open looks. I haven't had a lot of wide open looks over the years, so for me, I'm excited about that tremendously. And I know that this team has a great culture, and Mr. Alexander being there, at the meeting for me was huge, just to see the dedication that an owner has in this team, and how much pride he takes in this group and who he brings onto his team. It's quite an honor to be in the position I'm in, and I've been excited about coming here for a long time.
Daryl, after the season, sorry.
Well, yeah, for me, I thought this is definitely a great opportunity and situation for me. This organization has always been winning, and they've always just been a winning team, and I definitely want to be a part of that. I haven't been in a lot of winning situations, so being here, being around this organization, being around good players, and it's good to see Ryan, my teammate from New Orleans, be here with me for this long journey, so it makes it more comfortable.
Eric, Ryan, were there any conversations maybe between the two of y'all that y'all were thinking about coming to Houston? Maybe y'all guys kind of recruited each other?
Well, I do remember a couple of times during the season last year, when we were both free agents, that, along the summer when that time comes, we definitely would like to play, with each other on the same team. And, and then when he signed, and then I was going to meet with, the Rockets, and then I was like, man, this can be a great opportunity here. Like, and Ryan here, and James here, and Trevor, and a lot of other guys that I'm familiar with, I mean, this could be a great opportunity for us.
And he was actually the first guy I called after I made the commitment to come to Houston, and I wanted him to come along, so I'm happy he's here.
Let me tell you a cute story. So we're at the meeting with Eric and his agent, and Daryl's there, and Coach D'Antoni's there. And first thing Eric says, I want to come to you guys. So then Daryl starts his spiel for about 10 minutes. He never heard him say it. He was talking to me to comment to us. And even his agent didn't hear it. So I had to interrupt them all and say, listen, by the way, did you say you want to come here? And so that's where the spiel ended.
Mike, when you have this offense you're trying to install here, how helpful is it? Because we know chemistry is so important to have two guys that play together, know each other. How much does that ease the transition of assuring that offense to these players?
I think it eases mostly in the locker room, where they'll be able to rely on each other. On the court, you know, we're going to have a type of team. Hopefully the ball is moving around enough where they're all going to feel comfortable. That's my job, is to make Eric, regardless of Ryan being here or not, he has to feel comfortable, and so does Ryan and everybody else. And we'll get that done where they feel comfortable.
Daryl, when you thought that maybe Dwight would leave, you had said for a long time you need 2 stars in this league. Obviously, you still have James Harden, and you pick up 2 really good complementary pieces. And you also said there weren't that many stars, major stars outside of Kevin Durant in this market. What's the championship plan that you and Les have with Mike to try and get you guys back to a contending level, a top 2 team in the West?
Well, we think this team, as it's constructed, can be a championship contender. I think, obviously having great players is a great thing, but having a great fit is also super important. We've been able to build this team around what Coach D'Antoni wants to do. That's going to give us a huge boost. We feel like we've got a deep playoff run in us, and we feel like we also have the setup so that going forward, because I have to look at not just this season but future seasons, we're set up after having a great run to attract even more players down the road.
Daryl, I know you've liked both of these players for a long time. Can you discuss why you like them so much and why you were so excited about getting them here?
Yeah, so I'll start with Ryan, because Ryan was someone we actually tried to trade for many times. Quite frustrated we couldn't. We always saw him as a really perfect fit for the style of play we wanted to open the floor up for our players, and especially for James. So Ryan's ability to obviously space the floor on open threes, he shoots 45 to 50% consistently. That's obviously a huge weapon. That creates so much space. But the thing that's unique about Ryan is there are a lot of floor spacers, but I think he's the best floor spacing 4 in the league. There aren't any that can also play the game in multifaceted ways. He's not just a shooter from the perimeter. He has a post-up game. He's got a versatile sort of set of moves on the offensive side. On the defensive side of the ball, he's always been a very strong defensive rebounder, and he can generally rebound his position. I mean, I'm not trying to say defense is his strength. Obviously, he knows where his
enough of that from you.
He knows where his bread is buttered. But it's very rare to find a guy with his skill set that has a complete game like his. With Eric, we've been looking for someone to pair with James, and last year's acquisition of Ty Lawson didn't work out for various reasons, but we think Eric is the perfect complement to James in that he gets so much attention on the perimeter that Eric, with his skill set, the ability to shoot so they can't leave him, and the ability to attack off the dribble and make plays, and he's a multi-talented guy as well. A very strong defender at various points. He's had some injury challenges, but our doctors have looked closely at their injuries. Most of these are not recurring injuries. In fact, all of them, or we wouldn't be sitting here with this press conference. So we feel very confident that our offense is also going to key our defense as well. It's going to be coming out of the net more, and both Ryan and Eric have shown the ability to defend as well.
Mike, you were just speaking about Eric and James Harden. Obviously, you have Pat Beverly as well, but you have to look at the training camp and this whole process. But ideally, how does it work out with Eric and James, ball control, and how are you able to make that offense work?
Well, you know, I could tell you and then I change my mind in a month, so we'll see. And I don't really know right now. I do know where I'm working with some great players. And I do know that they both share the ball. And I do know that James is an unbelievably good passer. And I've seen Eric at USA Basketball. He's a good passer, so it shouldn't be a problem. As long as you have good guys that want to share the ball, you have no problems. So it's when you guys don't click or they're down or they don't like their role, then that's when the problems come up. And you know, one thing which is great, in which they have two great strong families which are here with us tonight. The owners, Eric's mom and so is Ryan's mom and dad and fiance, and that's important. It's important to have a family atmosphere, and we want people together, and that helps on the court.
Do you see Eric as a 2 that can play the 1 and a kind of a combo 1-2, or split in between all that?
You know, and to be honest with you, I'm not big on numbers. Where they stand on the court is their number, and I expect him to play 1, 2, 3, and Trevor can play 1, 2, 3, 4, and we just go like that. It's kind of interchangeable. It's kind of positionless, and it shouldn't be a problem.
This is a question for both those players. As you guys both enter your prime of your career, what would represent success to you as you enter your time in pro?
Well, I would say the number one goal is just winning. Like I said before, I haven't been in a lot of winning situations. I've been in the playoffs once, and to come here in a winning, you know, with a winning organization, I mean, it speaks volumes, because that's all I ever wanted to do was win at this point in my career, for sure.
Same. I want to win. I want to play for an organization that is building for something great, where pieces fit together and where guys accept their roles and we do something special together. I mean, I played on an Orlando Magic team that had some great pieces where we came together, and I want to recreate a special group like that. You know, I want to win most of all. Same as Eric said, I want to win.
And just to back that up, the money was large out there this year, and both these guys had large offers that they chose to come here for the winning, for the organization at this point in their career.
Ryan, what's it mean to you? The Rockets obviously been trying to get you for a very long time, and finally you're able to be here with them.
I mean, I view myself as some chubby little teenage kid growing up, you know, shooting hoops in my front yard back in Sacramento. So for me to be in this scenario where a team is desiring after me is like surreal. Over the past 4 years, it's been surreal, but to be here, I'll tell you what. I mean, it's a complete honor, and like I said, it's been on my radar. It's been a place I've hoped I could play for a long time, and so. You know, I'm happy. I'm happy. I feel very. I feel like this is the right spot, a great fit. You know, with Coach and with Eric and with everybody, the organization. It's a great spot.
Our pursuit of Eric's been long as well. I only mentioned the Ryan one. So Eric actually only had I think he only went to 2 teams on his last free agent go around, and Phoenix was able to move before us and signed him. And then New Orleans match. So our pursuit of Eric has been quite a long time as well.
Les, how determined were you just to get this organization back to what you used to, what you're accustomed to in playoff runs?
It's every year the same. I mean, it's not this year. It's every year it's the same. I feel about winning every year. It's not just this time around.
After last year, you expressed some disappointment just about how that season went. So how determined you just to
Well, last year was, in many ways, watching a team that didn't. Some nights you couldn't watch them because they weren't out there to really do their best, and that's not how we do things around here. And I mean, these guys are both in their prime of their careers. They're both great shooters. They both play with a lot of heart, and we're going to be a terrific team this year. How good, we don't know until we're on the floor and Coach has a chance to mold them.
Les, while you guys were doing all this, Kevin Durant makes his decision and signs with Golden State. How do you view that, the competitive balance in the league, especially, it's been so tough for years in Western Conference. Does that bother you at all as an owner?
I'm not going to comment on what Kevin Durant did. I don't think that's not what I do.
Sure.
Ryan, what was that phone call like with Eric? What did you say in that first one?
I was pretty excited. I mean, you know, when you make a decision, you know, you make a decision that's life-changing and career-changing, and that excitement's there. And I hear that Eric, you know, is potentially coming to Houston. He's the first guy I called, and I mean, I don't even know what I sounded like that whole time. Was just kind of a bit, you know, outside of myself. But I mean, I love Eric. Eric's a great guy. His family's great. He's a guy that I've really enjoyed playing with over the years, and I think that we've collaborated on a lot of things over the years. Just wanting to, you know, I have a ton of respect for him, and I hope he has a little bit for me. So no, I mean, I think we have great chemistry. So I'm excited I was excited to call him, and I'm excited that he's here.
What is it about being his teammate that made that chemistry and made him the guy you wanted to call first?
I mean, the guy can play. I mean, he could just flat out play. And but you know, not only is he a great basketball player, we've just had a great connection. You know, he's a good friend of mine, a guy that you know, I invite over to my house, you know, kind of a thing. So he's he's a good buddy of mine. To have him on this team, like Eric said, it is comforting coming to a new organization with somebody that you're comfortable with. I mean, we played together for 4 years. I know he was in New Orleans for 5, but you know, my whole stay in New Orleans was with Eric, so we're real comfortable around each other.
Eric and Ryan, how much was an influence James was during this process for them?
Well, he was definitely a big influence. I've been knowing James since high school, and you know, to get a chance to be teammates with him now, I mean, it's going to be great. You know, I think chemistry-wise, we'll all fit in and make things work. And it's all about, you know, everybody being on the right page and stay on the right task. And I think everything's just going to be just fine.
Eric, since high school, college, you've always been on the best player in the court, one of the best players in the court. NBA, I mean, you've taken over games consistently, but the injuries have always been there. Do you have a number of games in your head that you want to target, whether it's 82, whether it's 70 you want to get to? And they're all different, but how would you explain the injury situation you've had the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, most of them have been fluke injuries, you know, from the first one where you just bang knees, and then this past year, you just, I mean, I was on my way to playing 82 games, and then you just end up having a freakish, you know, breaking your finger, and you know, just little fluke injuries that I can easily overcome. But my plan every year is to play as many games as we can. I mean, 82 games plus more. That's what I definitely strive for.
Eric, Ryan, when you guys, I mean, we know that from just being around, the national media is penciling in teams like Golden State, and the whole thing, as competitors to come here. The expectations are championships. How does that fuel you when you hear the national media already penciling in Golden State for a Western Conference title?
I think the media, you know, we live in an odd generation where popular culture and the thing that's going on, you know, the most happening thing that's going on right now is what was happening with Kevin Durant. So him going there, obviously all sights are on them. You